The world trees whoa, and the blight below. Yeah, I can't even say it right. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Dragon Quest has traditionally not been that popular in America. It was primarily overtaken by the Final Fantasy series over here. However, in other parts of the world, Dragon Quest is still the #1 Japanese RPG. Now, this is not a traditional Dragon Quest game. This is actually developed by Omega Force, who are known for the Dynasty Warriors Musou-style games. Musou-style games are essentially action games with a bit of military strategy involved. So let's take a look at our graphics settings. I had to run this in Windows 7 compatibility mode because I'm using an NVIDIA graphics card, and this game and NVIDIA apparently don't understand what Windows 10 is. We will leave almost everything high except for ambient occlusion, which I think is highly annoying, the way most programmers and graphic artists enable it. Global illumination, we may or may not turn that on to low, or just depending on how annoyingly they implement it. So let's take a look here. Now, choose the hero you'll control on your adventure in this world. Don't worry, whichever hero you choose, you'll still have access to everything in the game. So we can choose Lasius, this cool collected captain of the King's Guard, always had a strategy up his sleeve. Or we can choose Aurora, this fun yet fearless captain of the King's Guard, never runs from a fight. Let's choose Aurora.
Come on then.
Leave her name the same, that's fine. Next, choose a name for the hero's oldest friend, by whose side your adventure will unfold. Alright, so are you happy to go ahead and create an adventure log for your two heroes? That sounds great. Now you can just set some settings, including the voice language. You can choose between English or Japanese voices. Pretty much everything on. We'll use the right trigger to dodge, because the right button is completely useless. I'll leave the English on for now. I think, if I remember correctly, that the English voices are okay. If they sound too terrible, we'll switch back to Japanese. Last of all, choose your control method and camera settings. Both of these can be changed during the game at any time. So we have quick controls, play with simple button combinations. Great if you want to get straight into the action. Slick controls, manual perform every action, ideal for seriously strategic players. We'll do the quick one for now. We'll check out the slick one maybe in a little bit later in a different playthrough. We'll leave all our accesses normal. We'll leave the follow on, otherwise we'll be messing around with the camera too much. Let's go ahead and increase the camera speed, just because I have no faith in programmers giving us decent camera speeds. Alright, this game features an autosave function. Do not turn off the power while your data is being saved.
Once upon a time, in a curious dimension, quite unlike our own, there was a very special world where humans and monsters lived together in peace. In the majestic city of Arbor, which stood at the center of that world, the most important festival of the year was just beginning. And the streets resounded with the happy cries of man and monster alike.
Kara Toriyama does all the monster designs.
Childishly simple. The prize is as good as mine.
Ah, not bad. Not bad at all. All right, my turn. All I have to do is hit something, right? Should be easy enough.
And if they look familiar, Dragon Ball Z, if you've ever seen or heard of it, or Chrono Trigger, if you are not familiar with Dragon Ball Z, same designer. He's been with Dragon Quest since day one, so it's been a very distinct look.
And so, it begins. What could this mean? Monsters have never attacked humans before. Why now? And how many? Could they all have been affected?
What? Even Helix, you mean? Helix! Oh, thank goodness. It looks like he's okay.
At the castle, our comrades are under attack. We must act now, lest they suffer for our complacency. Listen carefully. I will circle around to the rear of the castle and assess the situation. You, meanwhile, will approach from the
You
front.
want to follow some long-winded plan? Thanks, but no thanks. We're royal guards, so let's guard some royals. We need to find King Doric right now.
Wait! Headstrong fool. Does she mean to fight them all off on...
You can get this on a variety of platforms. I'm playing it on PC right now, but you can get it for PlayStation 4 and Xbox 900 if you'd like. King Doric will probably be in the throne room. Come on, we have to go and help him. Very well, let us approach from the rear. The passage ahead is not the most direct route, but at least infested with monsters. The longest way around is the shortest way home, eh? Very you. Alright, let's get moving. If you have not played a Dynasty Warriors or Masu game, I don't know where you've been. I don't know where you've been in the last couple of years, really.
You ready? Let's go over the basics of fighting, just to be sure. First, you should open the menu and take a good look at the action list.
Alright, X is attack, Y is a magic attack. We can hold the right button and hit X for Cold Fusion. Move with your left stick, jump with your A button. Left button resets your camera. Left button when you're flying does recovery. Right button, or right. Move the camera with your left stick. Lock on with the R3. And open the menu. Yeah. Toggle the map with back. Or whatever they call it on the Xbox One. I have no idea. Oh, let's take a look at the stick controls while we're at it. Select controls instead lets you manually control your combos. So we're broken up into button combinations. And that's essentially the only difference, really. Let's leave it on slick control since that's what I'm used to. But essentially, it's you against a large army
Let's fight our way through.
of monsters.
Time to give the action judges not touching the menu a go. Oh, I know an amazing attack. Try oozing this. Yippee! That's the way to do it. Okay, try this next.
Essentially, these games are action beat 'em ups.
Abilities next. Both use up magic points, or MP for short. That blue bar in the bottom left of the screen is your MP gauge. Go on, try using an ability.
Fisher!
There's more of them! Quickly, get them with that ability you just learned.
Cold Fisher!
Great work! You're a super-duper fighting machine.
That looks like the last of them. Come on, let's keep moving.
If you can't go through something, go over it. Try. Eat! Maguses! They like throwing spells from far away, so watch out! Don't panic if you think a spell's going to hit you. Just dodge out of the way. And if an attack's coming from dead ahead, you can use your shield to block it instead.
The monster threat here has been suppressed. Onward! To the throne room!
This has been the year of Masuri games. This game, One Piece,
Oh, for heaven's sake, more monsters! Let's get this over with, shall we? Desert Slash!
and Hyrule Warriors on the Nintendo side, along with the normal Dynasty Warriors 8 series, which appears, or Dynasty Warriors series, which appears every year. Currently at number 8, and their offshoot games.
Goo, look! There's a treasure chest on top of those. There might be a nice treat inside. To open it, just go up to it and stand still until you see the button sign.
Desert Slash! Desert Slash!
So there is a little bit of strategy involved. You'll have your magic and your health to manage. This is just the opening map, but traditionally there are many segments on the map, which you will have to choose where you and where you attack. Sometimes based on the decisions that you make, of course, then different actions in the plot can happen too.
Smash any pots you see. You never know what you'll find.
Well, they're not crates, but I guess pots will do. Much rather smash crates, though.
We've got to sort the monsters out here before we do anything else. All right, that's the last of them.
So why is this series so everlasting ever since the PlayStation 2? Well, they usually do is they allow you to fight a large hordes of monsters,
Is there anything to go by? A sizable force awaits us within the castle.
usually within the thousands. And although the enemies generally are
I'm
not,
starting to get really worried about the king. We've got to hurry.
although the general monsters generally are usually not very intelligent, they do pose a bit of a challenge later on, as the monsters continue to infiltrate different parts of your map.
What is
the meaning of this?
Your Majesty!
Ah, there are my brave young bodyguards. Our monster friends have gone quite mad. The little devils all turned on me at once.
Both the castle and the town have been overrun. We must devise a strategy without delay. Right. You and I must stand fast while His Majesty and Helix fall back toward the throne. The task of defending the throne room will be ours. When the enemy draw near, one of us will meet their advance and launch a counter-offensive. The other will hold position and protect King Doric from any sort. But even if we do defeat the enemy before us, we cannot afford to let our guard drop. If my assessment of the situation is correct, they will divide their forces into several groups and attack in waves. Each time they do so, one of us must guard His Majesty while the other renews the onslaught. By alternating our roles, we shall be able to conserve energy and keep the enemy at bay indefinitely.
Really?
Only-
You're still talking. Thanks. But if it's all the same to you, I'm gonna go and batter those monsters before they get to the king.
Why, you... To rush in without a sound strategy is pure folly.
You are most kind, but I have no need of your protection. Nay, let we three stand and fight, side by side. Now to arms, friends, for armor!
The original Dragon Warrior, or Dragon Quest, was inspired greatly by... Yeah, I know. That's a name you haven't heard in forever, huh? Somehow they managed to drive that series into the ground. However, Dragon Quest has managed to stay afloat. Here they come. Please, Your Majesty, get to safety. We will remain here and... Rah-ha-ha-ha! Have you forgotten who I am, boy? They do not call me the Royal Rumbler for nothing, you know. Power behind my guards just yet. I had a feeling you might say that. Well, we'll never manage to stop you jumping in. Well, we'll never manage to stop you jumping in yet, so why start now? I'm scared. Just sit tight, Helix. We'll keep you safe. Okay. I'll ooze heal on you if you need it. Be careful. And as you can see, the normal number of soldiers that you fight is going to be quite vast, and they will keep coming. There are subquests usually to...
As suspected, they cover for their lack of strength by attacking in waves. Our strategy must be to...
Sorry. Bit busy. How about we adopt a strategy I like to call whack them till they fall over?
A fine approach indeed, my dear. Now look sharp, the pair of you.
Lizard slash.
Well, I guess you'll just see. For longtime fans, you're probably going, yeah, we know, thanks. Especially since the series has been around for like 20 years now. I would hope that almost everybody has played one, but yeah, you never know.
As long as we win, that's all that matters.
Longtime fans will recognize a lot of these characters that we're going to see. They are from all the previous games. So basically, if you are a huge Dragon Quest fanboy, you are likely going to see one of your characters that you have played or have played against in this game. Splendid. Fine work indeed, Guardians. Truly, you are born to fight. Now let us drive these adult creatures from our castle for good. Gooey, you are all so amazing. I have to help out too. Wait here. I'll goo on ahead and see what's outside. But, Helix, it's not safe. Gah, he can't go running off on his own like that. He'll get himself hurt. As long as monsters remain within the castles, we all risk injury at their hands. Come, we must drive them out. Arba. I can't believe Helix ran off like that. He's always been such a scaredy cat. Eve! Ow! Ouch! Stop it! You're hurting me! It's me, Helix! What? Is that young Helix I hear? Friends, I fear our gelatinous friend is in peril at the hands of yet more crazed fiends. Then we have to go and help him. He'll never be able to stand up to them on his own. I fear you may be right, and I fear that my suspicion about the number of monsters who have made it inside the castle's walls may also be correct. So now our main objective is not to get Helix hurt. And these objectives will change as each mission goes by.
What the? Look how many of them there are. Where are they all coming from?
Could all the monsters taking part in the festival have descended on the castle at once?
Stop it!
Lizard slash. Lizard slash. Lizard slash.
Usually it's not imperative that every defeated, but in this case, you'll have some objectives sometimes where you will actually have to defeat all the monsters to move on. Again, the challenge isn't necessarily in the basic combat. It's really more about the thrill of defeating so many enemies. But the real from managing the map and your objectives inside the map. Traditionally, these games, Masao games, have been multiplayer focused. So this game is actually only single player, unfortunately. But both Square Enix and Koei have said that the next game is more likely to be multiplayer focused. And I'm not sure why exactly this time around it was only single player, but oh well, that's fine. I'll cover One Piece and Hyrule Heroes at some point in time too, just so you can see the differences. Even though they have similar gameplay, the games themselves actually play quite differently. Finally! Phew! That looks like the last of them. Are you okay, Helix? Wah! I was so scared. This is the last slime I'll ever goo on my own. I promise. All's when that ends well, little friend. Let us be thankful. You escape unharmed, and the castle appears to be free of monsters at last. Marvelous news indeed. Then we must make haste to the town below. I dispatch elite troops to quell the menace there. We must join them in the fight.
Not much further now.
Just as I thought. I feared they might be holding such a creature in reserve.
Dragon or not, there's only one thing we can do. Let's give it the hiding of its life.
This creature cannot be allowed to run rampant within the castle walls. We must hold him here.
Stay out of trouble this time, okay?
monsters approach you, we will come to your aid.
Okay, I'll try and be brave.
Friends! Wing blindly? When facing such a foe, it is essential to seek out its weak points. Where dragons are concerned, a blow to the head or tail is worth 10 elsewhere. Now, friends, strike while our foe is prone! For armor!
Well, not so good looking on the trees, but you know, normally you don't see stuff that close up.
Huzzah! The dragon is defeated! Victory is ours! Sweet, sweet victory!
What the heck are those things?
This cannot be. Nightmares! Gird your loins, for we are sure to be swamped!
Vision! They just keep coming, no matter how many of them we beat. We can't keep this up forever.
I must think. There must be some strategy, some...
Do not lose heart, my loyal guardians! Here! Witness the power of the mighty Brimstone!
It's a Vimstone when it's at home. Wait, I feel... I'm tingling all over. This ends right now. Giga Slash! Losing was never an option.
Ha! What you felt, friends, was the of tension, a source of fighting might beyond reckoning. The Vimstone brings it forth in spades. But this is neither the time nor the place to discuss such a potent force. Its uses are many, and its depths nigh unplumbable. For now, let us be glad that our staunch defense has delivered Arba from peril, and give thanks. You're right, we did it. What a team! You've unlocked the power of tension.
matter with you? Stop standing around posing and act a little pleased, will you?
I fear it is too soon for celebrations.
Is it?
If I am not much mistaken, this battle was but the many. We have rid the capital of monsters, yes. But this is no more than a temporary solution. It is but a matter of time before their allies outside the city launch another assault. Furthermore, it would be foolish to assume that the effects of this phenomenon are limited to the monsters in Arbor.
Okay, we get it. What you're saying is, all the other towns and villages in the world may be in trouble too.
Friends, I had feared as much. It would seem the time is indeed against us.
Fear not, your majesty. I have devised the perfect strategy. First, we must head westward, through the forest, to the city of Caliber, where
Of course! Caliber! Home of mages, inventors, and workers of wonder. Surely there we might find a clue as to the troubles that assail us.
Good thinking, Your Majesty. That's an amazing idea.
Yes, but...
Well then, we better get going.
Me too. I'm going with you.
Ah! Come, my bold and trusted retainers! We must sally forth without delay!
And obviously, the language of Dragon Quest is very much inspired by Ultima 2. It's a shame what happened to Ultimate, right? I mean, the last game was trying to do more of a Tomb Raider-ish style take on the world. But unfortunately, I think that game was a little bit ahead of its time, and the technology that was driving it was well beyond what we were able to realize now. Or back then, I'm sorry. And it's likely we'll ever see that revived again. The main designer, Lord British, has been doing different projects, and Electronic Arts doesn't seem too terribly satisfied in reviving that series either. But maybe the memories of such things are better than whatever they could think of now. I actually haven't played that many Dragon Quest games. I've really only played 7 extensively. By the time 8 came around, I think I was playing a lot of GameCube. Or possibly even 360. I know that game came much, much later in the PlayStation 2's life. Or sorry, PlayStation 3. That's hard to say. That's how much I kept up with it. I might have even played the very, very first one on the regular Nintendo. So I won't know a lot of these characters myself either. But it's not necessary. It's just more of a treat if you've been a long-time fan. Though I hope to rectify lack of Dragon Quest with Nintendo's 3DS, since 7 8 will be released here sometime in the next year. It would seem the commotion in the capital has been quelled. Now, let us venture westward, to Calibra. 'Tis a fair city, girt about by stout walls, and lying at the heart of the Great Plains. But I am forgetting myself. It's been a mere stone's throw from the capital. You have accompanied me there before, no? Come to think of it, I did go with you on a visit there once, to the, what was it called again? The Institute of Ingenuity, where the greatest scholars in the land study the esoteric arts of magic and mechanics. Precisely. Aye, Calibra is positively brimming with the wondrous fruits of invention. I do not doubt that we shall find ample expertise there to aid us in Arba's defense. And besides, there's one there whose counsel I would seek, and a loyal subject of our fair realm. Come, friends, onwards. Wow, what's all this? An armorer, a chapel, all the amenities of the town are here. Rah! Welcome to Cap Calenbro, the well-appointed outpost whence we shall on Calenbro itself. Though I pray that is not so. The monsters of that fair town, too, may have lost their minds. We must make ready for war, though it pains us to do so. Welcome to Cap Callenbro, Captain. We have organized some basic facilities to prepare you for the way ahead. The city isn't that far from the camp gates, but there's no telling what dangers are lurking out there. Be sure to make adequate before you head out into the field. Our brother's in Calibro. I hope he's safe. Well, it looks like they kept some of the traditions of Dragon Quest, so we get to go around and talk to some people. After all, as they teach us hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Captain!
A moment, if you will. I trust that you are still carrying your Vimstones?
Yeah.
Oh, the one you gave us to help beat those monsters back in Arba, you mean? Of course. Splendid. I hardly need to remind you, then, that Vimstones can draw out the dormant might within you. The potent power of tension. These splendid stones allow the wielder to manifest more and more tension as battle progresses, and once that tension has reached its upper limit, the power to dispatch an army in a single stroke is ours, correct?
Truly commendable.
Exactly, my lad. A power amply demonstrated in our recent skirmish on the streets of Arba. The art of tension building is a profound one, and its secrets deep beyond measure. You have much to learn on the subject. For now, be sure to always keep your Vimstones about your person. They will grow in strength as you do. Yeah, the mightier you become, shall be the power of tension at your disposal. Welcome to the Church of our Goddess. Here you may confess your deeds before the Almighty, that they may be recorded for posterity in an adventure log. Other services, such as skill point relocation, are also available for a small donation. You are always welcome here, my child. Now, let us begin.
Welcome, child.
Lord Sheep of the Great Shepherdess, welcome to the House of Goddesses. How may we help you? Okay, let's learn how it works. What would you have me explain, my child? Reassigning skill points. Should you choose to reassign skill points, the skills you have learned and the skill points you have allocated thus far will be reset. This will allow you to redistribute all your skill points as you choose. However, please be aware that a nominal donation to the church is required in order to perform these services. What would you have? Just the one thing. Okay, fine. Let's save.
Let us pray.
Will you permit me to record your works as in an adventure log? Yes, please. In which adventure log shall you record? Well, let's see. That is number 1. So let's use number 2. Okay, of course you can end your adventure and go back to the title screen, but we'll continue playing.
Speed.
May the goddess watch over you always, and may you ever find solace here.
Watcher!
Alright, I sell weapons and shields, all good stuff. What do you want? What are you in the market for then, eh? Here is thankfully better than what we have. But we'll have to balance the amount of money that we spend too. So let's do the silver rapier. You can have the silver rapier for 1900 gold coins. We got a deal? Sure. And we'll just equip it right now. The good scale shield is a bit farther away from us, so let's go ahead and buy this shield for now.
Oh, yous. Be lucky.
You wouldn't have any ingredients, would you? Ingredients? What kind of ingredients?
Now then.
Oh, you know, the type of odds and ends that monsters sometimes drop. Dragon hides, slime drops, that sort of thing. The art of turning those apparently useless items into noticeably useful ones, shall we say. I'm afraid there's little I can do for you now, as my alchemy pot has yet to arrive, but I expect things up and running again quite soon. With that in mind, you better hold on to any ingredients that you find in the meantime. Bring them to me later, and I'll make some fine items for you. Of the citizens in Calibro, we have precious little time to spare. Let us make our preparations and depart. You don't think all the monsters in Calibro have gone Gulali too, do you? Well, of all the monsters in Arba, you alone were unaffected. I fear we must prepare for the worst. Oh no, what are we going to do? Come on, I'm sure we'll find something in Calibro that will help us get them all back to normal. Hey, we must. Have courage, little friend. All is not lost. Okay then, I'll be brave. I promise. I'm too scared of getting squished to join in the fighting, but if you're in danger, I'll give you a heal. Okay, we gotta talk to you. How about you? What are you doing? Why would the monsters attack us? They're our friends. I just don't understand what's happening. But everything will be alright, won't it? The World Tree will protect us, just like it always has. There's little telling what dangers await us. Ensure that you are fully prepared before we venture forth. Alright, I think we've done all we can, so let's head out again. You're about to head into monster-infested territory, Captain. I trust you've made necessary preparations. Are you ready to head out? Yes, I am. Calibro. Splendid, splendid. The gates of Calibur are within sight at last, and I do dare to hope that this fair town remains untouched. I fear you not, your majesty. Do not look now, but I see signs of monsters making their way through the long grass towards us. And I doubt they're sneaking up like that to say hello. Looks like it wasn't just Arba after all. Then our first dash fields of unfriendly beasts. Come, friends, to arms! If you ever want to exit an encounter instantly, cast evac to make good your escape. To access it, just open the menu, and don't worry, you won't lose any items, gold, or experience by beating an early retreat.
It is one of the nightmares that appeared after we defeated the dragon.
Good eye, boy. And yet, it does seem somewhat different from the one we encountered in armor.
You're right. It looks like that monster's guarding it.
Wait, if we could... Yes, of course! Come, we must defeat this creature.
Thingy disappeared when you beat that monster.
And their numbers no longer increase. It is as I thought. That creature was summoning them here.
That has to be it. Okay, let's look around and make sure there aren't any more like it nearby. Desert slash. Desert slash.
There, another Moorkeeper. Come, we must defeat it, and quickly. yet appear. We must remain vigilant.
Press B when your tension gauge is full, so you can go into high tension mode for a limited time. As long as you're in high tension mode, you'll be totally immune to damage. And that's just for starters. Your attack power will also increase, and any status ailments will be cured instantly. And if that wasn't enough, you'll also be able to use skills and spells without spending a single point of MP. Press A while airborne to perform a double jump, and right trigger to perform a mid-air dodge, or right button, depending on your controller settings. And last but not least, press B to unleash a coup de grace, but be forewarned. Doing so will take you out of high tension altogether.
This ends right now. Giga Slash! There we go. That looks like the last of the Maw Keepers.
Indeed. All that remains now is for us to monsters.
As long as we win, that's all that matters.
Looks like that's all the monsters outside town cleared up. Let's get inside and make sure everyone's okay in there. Wait, to charge blindly in would both be foolish and needlessly dangerous. Though the situation is urgent, acting without a carefully considered plan will aid us little. More haste, less speed, eh? There is value in such judicious. Very well, let us return to camp and make ready.
Hey,
What were those weird portal things? The monsters were practically pouring out of them.
Yes.
Night Maws, was it? We witnessed their power in Arba, too. Yeah, if the land is rife with night maws, then the situation is grave indeed. It is, as the tales of my royal forebears warn, when night maws cross the realms do rise, the light doth fade, and the fading dies. The dark gates keepers summon seas of mindless monsters, soul diseased. The mindless monsters and the gatekeepers certainly seem too familiar for coincidence.
what?
Wait, so does that mean the whole world is in danger? That I cannot say. 'Tis an ancient legend, and the lines between truth and myth are blurred with passing of time. For now, all we may do is make haste and attempt to discover how gravely our realm is afflicted. Okay, don't say anything new, huh? I guess let's just shop then. Not quite enough for a scale shield. Let's sell what we don't already. Oh, well, I can sell nothing. But let's save at the very least.
Welcome, child. Let us pray. Goddess speed.
The appearance of Nightmaws only compounds the crisis. What could I have what would that I could have anticipated such a development? What is becoming of our world? I'll help. I'll do my best to get everyone back to normal. Oh, there you are. Have you any gold nuggets that you've encountered during your travels? Not all ingredients can be used in alchemy, you know, but the ones that can't can usually be sold for a pretty price. Gold nuggets are one such ingredient. If you find any, why not take them over to the armorer and see what you can get for them? The Nightmaws may very well be appearing in Columbra as we speak. I pray that no harm has come to our friend. Our friend? All in good time, child. You are sure to meet on our arrival in Columbra. Now, make ready. We must away. You're about to head into monster-infested territory, Captain. I trust you've made necessary preparations. Are you ready to head?
Now, gird your loins, friends. We know not what lies beyond these gates.
Me. Let me go first.
Here too, just as we feared.
Well, this doesn't look too good. So what do we do?
Fear not. I have devised a winning strategy. We begin by falling back, thereby lulling the enemy into a false sense of security. When they lower their guard, we strike. Wait for my signal, and then we
On
advance.
second thoughts, forget it.
What?
That was a close shave, wasn't it?
Confounded. My strategy did not account for the intervention of a third party.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. You really saved our bacon. Thank you so much.
If this woman is friend or foe.
Charmed, I'm sure. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I'm Isla, head of the Institute of Ingenuity. It's nice to meet you, at last.
Your timing is impeccable as ever, my dear. We are in your debt.
Glad to be of service, Your Majesty. Oh, you're a jumpy one, aren't you? But I have to say, I like that in a man. Makes you all the more fun to dissect.
You mean to study me? I fear I may prove a rather complex case.
Ugh, get over yourself. She's joking, you idiot.
Oh, I never joke about my work. Why don't you pop by my lab one day and let me take a look at you? Brave Captain.
What? Wait, that's enough of that!
There will be time for that But first, you must help us find our way around Caliber. If we are to protect this place, we shall have need of your incomparable talents.
Oh, it would be my pleasure, Your Majesty. Besides... I'm not about to stand by and watch while these handle this town. After all, what would become of all my beautiful inventions? Shall we?
Isla, was it? You're not really planning on taking Lucius back to your lab, are you? Gah, what am I saying? Bring us out back there. Oh, I wouldn't miss the chance to help a little sweetie like you. I mean, a big, strong guardswoman, of course. Now, I do believe I promised you a tour of Calimbro. I feel it'll be more of a tour of duty than a sightseeing tour. Rah ha ha! Very droll, lad. Very droll indeed. Now, you two. Isla's in charge. Do as she says, or you'll regret it.
Let's teach them a lesson they won't forget.
The monsters keep pouring in through these strange portals. There's no end to them.
Those are called night maws. You can close them by beating the moorkeepers who guard them.
Well, I guess we better start shutting them down. All right, let's get to work.
These strange devices scattered around the town. These are your inventions, I take it.
Lizard slash. Amazing, aren't they? What do they all do?
Well, most of them are to protect the town. Better safe than sorry and all that. But my greatest invention is something else entirely. Stick around for the grand unveiling.
Lizard slash.
That's the moorkeepers dealt with. Now we just need to take care of the stragglers.
All right, job done.
Sorry, but it won't be quite that simple. We've more guests headed this way from outside town. Though it just so happens that outside is exactly where one of my favorite inventions is pointed. Come on, I'll show you how it works. Here she is, the spellcaster. Isn't she beautiful? Why don't you hop on and give her a try? The monk crossing the bridge. Steady your aim and fire. Bullseye! Lovely work! In the right hands, the spellcaster makes short work of any battle.
Yes!
Ugh, no! All out of ammunition. If you run out of ammo, It takes a while for the old girl to build up her reserves again, I'm afraid.
Ah, well, you know. I wasted the first shot, of course.
Time for plan B.
Although it's a little bit more fun to have hands-on combat.
As long as we win, that's all that matters.
Excellent. It seems all is quiet here for now. Come, we must return to camp and discuss... Oh, don't tell me. Discuss strategies in long and excruciating detail, right? Ugh, do we really have to? Ooh, my favorite. Can I join in? I have a wee favor I'd like to ask you anyway. A favor? Sure. What can we do for you? Just a little guard duty, that's all. I'll explain more once we get back to our camp.
Okay.
Right, let's get the introduction out of the way, shall we? Isla, head of the Institute of Ingenuity, as mentioned previously, and you are? Sorry, where are my manners? I'm Aurora. This is Lucius. We are the captains of the Royal Guard. Well, you certainly proved you're well qualified. You made swift work of those monsters back there. Poor confused dear. Anyway, as I've mentioned, I have a favor to ask you. You see, there's a little something I need to deliver to the city. And what might that be?
Aye.
Well, me and my team have been building a very interesting little ship these last few years, and all it needs now is one last vital component, a generator. We just finished moving this thing from the capital to the city gates when all the fuss started. Are blocking the way to the Institute. That generator is the product of more blood, sweat, and tears than you'd care to imagine. So,
Yes.
I see, you would have us defend the generator while you complete its delivery to the Institute. You catch on quickly. Can I count on you for this little favor?
Got it.
Of course, that shouldn't be any trouble at all. Right, Your Majesty? None whatsoever. This ship of yours may be just the thing we need to help us survey the state of the kingdom.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. And once this little matter is dealt with, I'll be able to join you on your tour of inspection. I have plenty of other inventions besides the ship to show you. You'll not regret taking me along. Rahaha! Most heartening indeed. Then let the four of us journey together, united in our quest to restore order. Isla joins the party. Again, the music's very distinctive. I mean, I remember that just even from the regular Nintendo version. Now you can switch characters in the heat of battle with left trigger. A talented tactician with a flair for fast-paced fire attacks, his impressive speed and remarkable reach make him an asset in any battle. His Infernal Slash attack, searing cyclone that swallows up a whole swath of foes, aiming at large groups of enemies. Doric, a weighty warrior king who combines stunning strength, stupendous speed, and a spectacular selection of skills. His crushed ice attack unleashes a stinging series of snowy strikes perfect for finishing off fleeing foes. Isla. If I see an inventive fighter who bashes baddies from a distance, press X or Y when she catches it to trigger a special attack. Use Whoosh to whisk foes up in a swirling whirlwind, which she can add to other attacks in order to make it even wickeder. To learn more about Isla's abilities, open up the menu and take a look at the action list. Okay, let's talk to you. I'll be studying you very closely on our field trip, Captain. I hope you don't mind. Alright, I saw weapons and shield and good stuff. I like good stuff. Now we have weapons available for the other members of our party. But let's buy that scale shield. That will help me along. Let's see, and that's for Doric. But you know, I will save up and buy them the best stuff.
Be lucky.
Let us pray.
Well, this is interesting. This game isn't actually what I was expecting. I was expecting something a little bit closer to the normal Dynasty Warriors Musou style game, but this really is set up as a single-player game.
Goddess speed.
But again, I'll cover Hyrule Warriors and One Piece, and you can see the differences for yourselves. Although I probably won't do that today because, you know, there's only so many of these games you can play without your eyes totally going crazy. Mainly because the screen is always full of effects and monsters and everything else going on. Yes, I have made the H preparations, and I'm about to leave and journey out. Hopefully not to eat too much fiber. Calibro. So, this is the generator, eh? Well, don't worry. It's safe with us. Well, we've already cleared the town of monsters, so I'm hoping we won't have any trouble. Nonetheless, we can ill afford to be complacent. We still lack a clear monster's reach. Indeed, lad. Why is it I have enlisted the aid, which is why I have enlisted the aid of some of my most trusted guardsmen. Should any monsters dare to draw near, they'll taste steel, and plenty of it. Ha 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 ha.
Chief, we're detecting another space-time anomaly somewhere within the town.
A nightmare. One of those Mawkeeper creatures must have snuck in somehow.
It would seem so. Then this place will soon be awash with monsters. Friends, to arms!
Allies who have fallen unconscious can be revived with an grass a leaf. To use one, approach a fallen friend and press A.
Chief, we're detecting another space-time anomaly somewhere within the town.
Captain!
Oh, I've got a little something for you. It's only a prototype, but I'm fairly confident it won't explode. Without going into too much detail, it extracts the essence of defeated monsters and compresses it into something resembling a coin. You can use these coins, or monster medals, as I call them, to summon those same monsters to fight for you whenever you feel like it. Not bad, eh?
Look out!
So this is a monster medal, is it?
Okay, time to put the theory into practice. Well, go on. Give your newfound friend a call.
Monster medals can be used to stem the tide of incoming foes in battle. Night Maws have appeared to the west and south of the generator. It's about to be ambushed from 2 different directions. If you focus on the monsters from the Night Maw to the west, you'll leave the generator wide open from attacks from the south. In scraps like these, you can summon a minion to protect a particular route for you by using a monster medal. Minions summoned using monster medals will continue to fight in the same spot until their HP runs out. By taking advantage of the helping hand they offer, you can free yourself up to focus your efforts on the remaining Night Maw. Using monster medals smartly should see you safely through all manner of sticky. Now, hurry up and protect that generator.
A device that can capture defeated monsters and bend them to our will? This is a discovery indeed.
I'm glad my work meets with your approval, Your Majesty. I hope it'll make our lives a little easier. Now, rather than get bogged down with lengthy descriptions, why don't you just give it a spin? There are a few more details on monster medals and how they work. You can take a look in the menu.
You picked up a She Slime medal. Minion notes: assaults assailants with slime spank before proceeding to protect its post.
Why not give it a glance when you have a moment?
All in a day's work.
Wow, monsters fighting on our side. This is brilliant. It's like the good old days. Well, almost. Sadly, it doesn't last long. If we really want things to go back to how they were, we'll need to get to the bottom of what's been behind all the recent disturbances. I thought things finally might be able to go back to normal. Do not be disheartened, Helix. That our former friends can be brought back to their senses at all is a sure sign that a solution to our problem exists. You really think so? Great. Then let's keep trying our hardest to fix everyone. I'm going to do everything I can. Now then, enough about monster coins. Let's move on to more immediate matters, shall we? We've managed to get the generator closer to my lab. Let's head back to camp for a rest and leave things in the capable hands of my researchers for now, shall we?
much.
Thanks, everyone. The generator is safe and sound. We couldn't have done it without you. Rah ha ha! There's no need to thank us, dear girl. We could hardly have left you high and dry. Yeah, and besides, it was your monster medals that really saved the day. Though our victory is encouraging, I cannot help but be troubled by the monster's behavior. Why would they be compelled to attack the generator?
Aye.
That's a good question. Perhaps they were drawn to the energy it gives off. I'll have to look at it. But for now, let's focus on the task at hand. Once the generator is safely inside the Institute, we'll have all we need to start traveling the world in style. You'll not regret helping with this, I promise. Alright, no doubt we'll have to spend a little bit of time leveling up our fellow companions. But for now, let's see what we can afford. Okay, we only have... Wow, we didn't earn that much. Again, I'd rather just hold off and just buy the best stuff. But how about shields? I see I'm going to be doing a lot of fighting.
Welcome, child. Let us pray.
Well, I feel silly for telling you how Dynasty Warriors game normally works, because this is this is a different take on the formula. I'm sure as I usually said at the beginning might come into play. At least I certainly hope so. Let's go ahead and do one more mission. I can lose a lot of hours playing these Musou games. So I'll try to keep our sessions reasonably short. I usually don't like to go beyond an hour and a half, although sometimes I do, obviously. Again, you can pick this up on PlayStation 4 if you so choose. It will look just a little bit less advanced. You'll probably be at medium detail for the shadows and the ambient occlusion, but it's still a pretty good looking version. Chief, we halted transportation of the generator in order to check on suspicious noise. Upon halting, we were set upon by monsters. I'm sorry, Chief. We should have been more careful. Well, this is hardly ideal. We're sitting ducks down here. You can say that again. They can come at us from 3 sides. This is going to get messy. Perhaps, but sound tactical use of monster metals may the tide from one side or another. For once, I actually agree with you. All right, let's make the most of those monster metals.
Let's teach them a lesson they won't forget.
Okay, so let's set our monster metals first. Oh, well, maybe I don't have any. I should probably get some. Alright, picked up... Yes, let's do that. Picked up a Magus Medal. Our generator is in danger already, so... let's make haste. Let's put 2 out here because there's a heavy amount. Come on, get over there. Oh, I guess not. Oh, maybe I'm full. That would probably explain it.
Bubble slimes, I hate. Even at the best of times, they're so gooey looking.
I fear you are too harsh on our former friends, though their poisonous nature is certainly bothersome. We must take every care not to let them land a blow.
Oh, we have some defense problems. I need to keep tracking my map a little bit better.
Don't let me down. Off you go.
Oh, I got some folks maybe over here too. Ah, it's generating a lot. All right, so we do have a fair amount of map management.
Lizard slash. Lizard slash. Yes. Lizard slash.
Let's take a look at some of the other characters.
Searing slash.
Oh, more monsters. I'm starting to get a bit tired of this.
Will their onslaught never cease? I fear we may not be able to keep up. Searing slash.
Courage, friends, courage! One final push, and the day shall be ours!
We have to win this.
But of course!
Oh, it's a party. Alright, let's guard the side that we couldn't set a monster down in.
Got it. Over here. Boomerang.
Oh, I kind of like her, huh?
Over here. Boomerang. Boomerang. To me. Over here. To me. Over here. To me. Boomerang. Boomerang. Over here. Boomerang.
We'll need to finish this thing out quickly. Monster medals come in two different varieties, gold sentry medals and silver savior medals. So far, you've been using sentry medals to summon minions who hold their position while defending against incoming foes. Savior medals are like the one you just acquired are different. The monsters they summon support you a special one-off ability. But they'll disappear as soon as they're done, so be sure to save them just for the right moment. For details about which medal does what, as well as the abilities each savior minion performs when summoned, take a look at the monster list.
Those were some interesting specimens.
Huzzah! Friends, you do your kingdom proud. The monsters have been repelled, and a victory worthy of a legend is ours. Whew, I was worried there for a minute. But we did it. Of course you did. I never doubted you for a moment. Now all we have to do is wait while the generator is installed in the Institute. Shall we? Alright. Everybody went up a level, that's good. And I didn't kill anybody like I normally do. But it's still early in the game. I have plenty of opportunity to do that. Alright, I can afford more stuff. Let's give Isla her weapon. Just because I have a feeling I'll be using her quite a bit. And I have money for basically nothing else.
Welcome, child. Let us pray.
All right. So this is audap. You were watching Dragon Quest Heroes, the World's Trees Woe, and the Blight Below. This is a collaborative project between Koei and Square Enix, developed by Armor Project, inspired by Megaforce's Dynasty Warriors games. So as you can see, it's a little bit different of a take on the Dynasty Warriors games. It is a single-player only game. So for those looking for a multiplayer experience, you are not going to get it with this version of Dragon Quest Heroes. Apparently the sequel will fix that deficiency. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed watching. It unfortunately is not on sale anywhere. So I paid full price for this title, but I'm also hoping this will let Square Enix know that we do indeed want more Dragon Quest games and to bring them over to the North American shores. They have traditionally not sold as well as the Final Fantasy games, but I think we could probably turn that around now that Dragon Quest and the player base is a little bit different than what it was when they were originally bringing titles over in the regular Nintendo and the PlayStation 2 era. We did get Dragon Quest good, but we didn't get Dragon Quest 10 or Dragon Quest 9. So, or maybe we did get 9. We didn't get 10 for sure. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream here real soon.